Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am very good. How are
Uh,
you tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. I'm sitting out on the porch, got a nice breeze, and checking out the fish in the tank, and feeling very relaxed. It's a wonderful night.
Sounds nice down there. You're down by the shore, huh?
I am. Yeah. I wish we were always a little closer to the water. Just kind of get that stank smell of that Jersey Bay. But we're close enough that it's decent. You don't have to really deal with too much of that shore traffic that people always talk about, as the summer months are upon us. And I know we're, inching our way towards fall, but it's still nice to be where we are. I definitely appreciate it.
So you got like just the right amount of stank.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I'm saying.
exactly. We got that Jersey stank, but you drive a couple of minutes and you get that beach stank, and it's a good time. We enjoy it.
I love that stank.
Yeah.
It's like probably in my top five favorite smells is that Jersey Shore stank.
Oh, it's the best. You can't argue with it.
So, off the top of your head, top five favorite scents or stanks.
Ooh. Um, do I need to order them at the moment, or can I just throw them out there and reconfigure as we go?
I would say throw them out, doggy.
Okay. Uh, I would say definitely one of them is that bay smell, kind of salty, kind of I guess dead crab roasting in the sun kind of smell. Kind of peppered in with I guess like an old diaper microwaved suntan lotion combo. What else? I do enjoy the smell of like a fresh rain on a summer day. And then I appreciate you throwing fingers up, so I know, because at some point I'm definitely going to forget and probably rattle off 7 or 8 of them.
Easy to do. There's so many great stanks out there.
What else? What else is good? I enjoy a fresh cut grass. All right. So I'm going to go off on a tiny tangent here for a second.
Well, real quick before
Yeah.
you go off on your tangent,
Yeah,
what about like the smell after it rains? Is that on your list?
it is.
How about like the Jersey Shore stank
That is. Yep, confirmed.
with like the suntan lotion and like dirty diaper smell?
Right. Yeah, those are all kind of tied in together. I don't want to put them in as separate stanks, because they kind of they all kind of go together. Like, yeah, you know what I mean. Like if you're talking about like a really nice like dish that you would make, you wouldn't talk about each individual component as its own separate stank. They kind of all come together to make this refined smell.
Okay, I smell you.
Yeah. So my brief tangent is that I always think about whenever you come across fresh cut grass, my wife always says that she loves.
Did you just say you come across fresh cut grass?
Like if you're driving in the neighborhood and somebody's mowing their lawn early in the morning, something like that.
Just gotta hop out of the car.
Yeah, just go smell their lawn, just get face first right into it, And they're
Just
like,
pleasure yourself
"Hey,
all
I'm
over."
I'm not done, but it's kind of a nice way to meet your neighbors, They're like, "Hey, that's the guy who comes and smells my lawn every week," and that's cool, I guess. So, my wife
Grass
always
seems to be growing better, so whatever he's doing to it is working.
just that one spot is immaculate based on how much he smells it. That kind of makes me think of like the Sam Adams commercials, where the guy who runs the brewery is always like, taking the hops and everything else and like stuffing them in his face. See,
Where's your mind to that?
already I'm thinking about how erect it makes me, about how wonderful that is that he takes that kind of time to smell each part of the beer that goes into what they do. I guess that would be the way that I would picture it. So my wife always says that she loves the smell of gasoline, which I don't know if that's like her nice way of saying that she's an arsonist at heart, or she just has a very strange smell palette.
So you might want to be a little concerned. I work at a car dealership.
Oh,
There's
I am. I'm
we
very
have,
concerned.
We have this fuel tank that we have on premise where they use it to like refill cars with gasoline and
Yeah.
like the new cars and things like that. Because when you buy a car, it always comes with a full tank of gas.
Right.
Unless you're buying like a really shitty place, so whatever. But there's a guy that comes to deliver the fuel, and the dude just reeks of gasoline.
Okay.
And I'm like, anyone with a gasoline fetish is just gonna love this guy.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't care what he looks like, because his grill is not that great.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry if you're listening, like you're a great guy, but like your grill is kind of messed up.
Okay.
So you got the smell though. I mean, bitches love that gasoline scent.
All right. So what was that? 3?
Yeah, is gasoline one of them? Because that could be 4.
No, it's not. I don't really enjoy that. That's not something fun.
Sounds like there might be a divorce coming.
You know, I feel like it is a point of contention, but I feel like it is one of those things that didn't matter that much in the whole courtship process that I wasn't concerned enough to make it a bigger issue, I guess.
I feel like sense of smell is one of the like things that really binds people together.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I guess if I really had to say it, the smell of like a newborn baby, you know, I enjoy that. They're fresh. I don't mean like when they come out at first and they're covered in that baby goo, because that's gross.
Oh, that brings up a really fun question for me.
Okay.
To you, did you eat the placenta?
I did not.
Were you just like
You know, I had
getting in there?
I had never considered it at all. I know other people have done creative things with the placenta. Like I've heard about people that'll take it and like send it to a company and they'll put it into like a pill that you can take as a vitamin, which
does it give you like superpowers or like?
I guess. I mean, I don't know if you become like placenta man and you just. I don't know. I don't even know where to go with this exactly, but it's not for me. But I politely declined.
So you're not a fan of the placenta pill, I guess.
Right, yeah. No, I'm fine with the placenta just based on how it nourishes, you know, the fetus and whatnot. But outside of that, I'm good. That's okay.
I feel like it's funny because there's a food that sounds really similar to placenta, which is polenta.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I saying that right? Polenta?
Yeah.
And that shit's delicious. But wouldn't it just be funny if somebody switched them? And, like, you didn't know? And you're like, oh, man, this polenta's so good. And then it turns out it's a placenta.
I would love that. I think that would be kind of a cool way. All right, so I remember seeing something about Whole Foods. You know, they have some fairly pricey items. And I remember seeing one was, like, asparagus water or something like that. And I didn't see it in the store. I saw it online. And it was, like, $5 or $6 a package. And it was like, well, what exactly? Like, all right, so the only thing that I can think about related to asparagus is that it makes your pee smell so strong that it's vile when, you know, you eat a decent amount of it and then you go and urinate.
You like to eat pee? Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't eat pee. I'd consume it. You know, I'd rehydrate myself with pee. I guess it's kind of like a survival situation, you know, like just thinking about if I were ever...
World.
Yeah. If I were ever put in a position where... And again, you know, watching a hefty amount of Naked and Afraid and, you know, some other goofy survival stuff, you can't survive for a long period of time consuming your own urine because of the sodium content, and your body isn't able to like, reabsorb the benefits of urine. Wow, this got weird. Hey, we were talking about scents. That was the original piece to this, wasn't it?
It's possible that was,
but
I kind of like where we're going with you drinking your own urine.
I do too. All right, so I'm going to cap my smells at 3 for the moment, and if I happen to have one that just kind of comes to me organically at some point later, I'm just going to blurt it out. And
is it semen? I think it's semen.
Yeah, I mean, really only after you've eaten, you know, certain types of foods, so it has that, like, hint of...
Pineapple.
Polenta, even, you know.
Or placenta.
Placenta, yep, exactly.
Placenta, polenta. Yeah.
All right.
You say tomato, I say placenta. Whatever.
So I'll throw it back on you. Give me some scents that you happen to enjoy.
Oh, I love maple syrup.
Ooh,
Smell.
yeah, okay.
Like you put that shit on some French toast, and it's like, yeah, hello. Sausage, like just a nice big old sausage.
I like the breakfast tilt you're taking right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maple bacon, which don't ever cook it in your own house. Borrow someone's house or maybe just get a timeshare. So once a year you can just cook maple bacon, because that shit, you'll probably have to burn your clothes because that scent does not go away.
Yeah, I was going to say that probably just sticks to everything.
Oh, it does.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking from experience, it sticks to everything, and it just doesn't come out, but it tastes so good. It's totally worth it to destroy someone's house. So, yeah, maple bacon, this podcast is for you.
So this is for the Maple Bacon Business Owners of America. Are they a contingent?
I believe they are. We're still waiting for the check.
Let's reach out to them again and see what their sponsorship offer is, or was, or will be.
Yeah. So, all right. So, you were looking into getting someone on the show for an interview.
Yes.
Maybe a possible sponsor in the future. And what was the outcome of that? Just for our listeners out there, where do we stand? Are we going to have a new segment to the show where we start interviewing people, or what's up?
Yeah, I think we will. I was thinking about it earlier in the week, and I like what we're doing right now because it's fun and I enjoy it, and I think it'd be kind of cool to just reach out to people in certain industries or aspects of life that we happen to find interesting, like, if it's skateboarding, snowboarding, anything, and just throw it out there and say, hey, listen, this is what we do. We'd love to hear more about what you guys are up to. And I think it might be kind of fun to take the same kind of format with them. Like, I don't want to make it this, standard conversation about, tell us about your product, tell us where you make it, and how we can find it. I think it'd be kind of fun to, do that part of it, but then take a piece to it where we kind of throw out some topics like you and I are right now. I had no idea this is where it was going to go in terms of, now I've, I guess, confirmed drinking my own urine, and based on your maple bacon affection, I think it'd be fun to have people, if they're up to it, jump into that kind of format and be like, all right, listen, this is the topic, let's just go and see what comes of it.
I guess my one question is, are you going to tell them that some of the questions are pretty hard to answer? Because we do broach some pretty weird subjects. Or are you just going to be like, yeah, come on, it's a normal thing. If you didn't listen to it, it's your own problem.
I think I'd probably want to give them a heads up, because I could see it being the kind of thing where when they're done, they'll be like, hey, I really enjoyed the first 7 or 8 minutes, and then the last 3 got really fucking weird, and I don't think this is how I want to represent what we do.
I feel like giving us 7 minutes to get weird is totally underestimating us.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. I feel like that would take a lot of self-restraint, and I don't think we have that.
No, I'm going to say we don't.
All right,
I don't.
So roughly 7 seconds, perhaps, to be like, hey, welcome to the show, and now what's your stance on urine consumption? Go.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. So all right. I'm looking at our timer right now, and we're just about at 21 minutes since we first called each other, and we definitely didn't mention the name of the show, any of the contact information that we had discussed before, and so I think we should take just a brief pause to let people know who we are again. Hey
everybody.
Hey, this is Tattooed Bananas, our podcast, and
episode 3.
Yeah,
score.
Episode 3. So we're still working the kinks out, trying to let people know who we are and what we're doing. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, If you want to email us, it's inkbananas@gmail. And do we have anything else? Are you? Because I know you've been dabbling in Snapchat for your own personal dick picture portfolio. Do you have this going for that?
Expansive.
Okay, right, good. Yeah, it's like a whole catalog. So it's like a 3-ring binder of just penises.
Oh yeah, it's like a couple 3-ring binders.
Oh,
of
perfect.
Penises.
Good.
Yeah.
We're going to come back to this because there is something I want to discuss from an outing I had with some friends. But do you think you'll do a little Snapchat business to throw some things out there for people?
I would consider that if people actually want to Snapchat with us.
Okay.
I have no reason to think that we wouldn't do that.
All right.
We're basically down for just about anything.
Yeah.
I would say at this point, if you're going to listen to our show, let's do it.
I'd say we're gonna.
I mean, to know you
in terms of like
internally. I would say.
Yeah, externally, internally, placentally. It's not a word, but it will be. So I think for any social media stuff, we're gonna get pretty slutty. We're putting it out there wherever we can get it. And,
we're gonna be all up in your shizzle.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so before I get back to my penis related subject that I wanted to talk about, that's where I was going. What you have a beer with a banana on a surfboard. What do you got there?
I don't even know. I saw it at the liquor store.
That's
and
amazing.
Or I guess depending on what state you're listening from, it could be a beer store or just your local gas station. I mean, I don't know. Here in New Jersey, we have liquor stores where you get all your beer and alcohol.
Or your bathtub in the woods that you happen to make moonshine from.
Yeah, that's my jam. I do that.
So what do you got there? That looks like a pretty fancy can. I like that.
Yeah, so I'm going to say, I'm totally going to hack up the name, but it's Neshiming Creek Brewing Co.
All right.
And it's called Highwater Hefeweizen.
Ooh.
And I am very excited to try it because, as my partner said, it does have a banana on a surfboard, and I thought it was just so fitting for our third show.
That's amazing. So I think a photo of that needs to go. Oh, and we have the website too, which...
Oh yeah, we did just start the web.
We did. So it is... get the full effect. There you go. It's nice that you got a little beer on your wife's panties over the microphone.
So, a little backstory on that. I built a microphone stand for the new microphone I got.
Yep.
So I hope there's a quality difference in the sound for the better. But I built a little pop filter for it too.
Oh, that's what that is.
My wife's undies that were actually from our wedding night.
Oh, look at this. Oh.
And it still smells like sex.
Oh,
so
that's just...
There's that.
That's magic. I'm really excited for her to listen to this, and I don't... All right, so she's got a great sense of humor, because she is really open for any joke, and probably as vile as I've met another person with the same kind of humor. What I think is fun about that is I don't think she's going to cringe at all. I feel like she's almost going to say something better than what we just talked about.
She probably will.
Yeah, that's great.
That's why she can never be on the show, because we can't be upstage.
No.
Especially by our SOs.
Oh,
which
God.
is short for significant other.
Right. Yeah. Or shout-outs once we get to that point, but... No,
I've been doing shout-outs like crazy.
No, we're not having that, because then you feel ridiculous. And, I mean, what happens if she decides that she's going to go get somebody else and make Tattooed Bananas 2.0, and we just get buried?
Yeah, at this point, it really wouldn't take much.
No, probably not, but I don't even want to give her the opportunity to take that.
Yeah, no, maybe we should just, I'll just block her so she can't listen. That's probably the best bet, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. All right, so you said you got your beer there. I got a new one. I got a new one here. It's You see that there?
What's that? New Holland? Is it a Edgar Allan Poe theme?
It
beer?
is. Yeah, it's called the Poet, and it's an oatmeal stout from New Holland Brewing, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
And I wanted to share something on the back. It said that it gives a pairing recommendation for foods, which I thought was cool. You don't always see that on the label. So it says mushrooms, beef, soft ripened cheeses, and chocolate. And immediately I thought, you just put them all together, and make like a baby food mixture and just throw it in.
Throw that shit in a blender.
Yeah, exactly. You throw it in the little Cuisinart kind of deal, and you suck that shit through a straw like Geno Smith is probably doing right now with his busted ass jaw.
It's a nice little breakfast treat.
Yeah, I was thinking I'll probably get up tomorrow and have one in the morning and listen to this and make sure it doesn't sound like total garbage in terms of content, and go from there. Start a Sunday off right.
Yeah.
So okay, so we were talking before about your penis portfolio and just how you've compiled these dick pics over the years, and I mean it's relevant to Snapchat because you could really get somebody to like stencil tattooed bananas onto a penis. And they'd be like, wow, like that's really staying with me. Maybe I should check it out. Or maybe I should call the police, whatever. So a couple of weekends ago, went and played paintball with some friends. And when we were driving up there, we started talking about people putting like penis pictures online. And one of the guys that we were with was talking about this. And I thought he was kidding at first. He was talking about like a penis recognition software.
Was it for you?
No, it wasn't. He wasn't even in the car because he was
running late, or he forgot his passport.
He was running late, exactly. And so we met him there, but on the way there, so this other guy that was with us was talking about this, I guess, software that somebody's developing. I don't even know if it's new. How they're going to be able to.
Did you just hear a train?
Oh yeah, that's on my end.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I was watching you look around frantically because it was either you were recognizing the train or someone was trying to break into your house behind you, and I wasn't going to say anything because I can see two windows behind you at the moment, and I was really hoping that I could see the one over your right shoulder, like the blinds slowly start to come up and like.
Oh, when someone just pops in and kills me?
No, not
and
kills
then
you.
You have a new like podcasting partner?
No, but just dick slaps you and then runs out.
As long as they Snapchat it, it's all good.
Right. All right, so he's talking about this penis recognition software where you upload, a picture of your genitalia, it like alerts, some kind of, database. And I thought he was kidding, and I was thinking that it was more headed towards a joke about like the recognition software would note that a penis had been uploaded to whatever site, and then they needed to determine how old the penis was. And then I started thinking about, like, well, would you use, like, a tiny guillotine to, like, cut the head off and count the rings on it, like a tree? And it just...
So is this just human penis recognition, or is it, like wide scope, like, every type of, I guess, mammal?
I guess I'm thinking about what kind of animals have... Well, I guess they don't even necessarily need to have the skills to upload the penis picture because you could really get somebody else to do it for you. But I guess really I was only thinking about humans in this context.
Davey.
Yeah, the deer we saw at disc golf that day. I'm sure his deer dick is all over the web.
I know, I've seen the pictures.
Yeah. We have a nice canvas wrapped print. Tastefully displayed, up above your dining room table. People are like, wow, I really like your home, except for the deer penis picture that's hanging in your sitting room.
That's the best part, though.
Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
Just leave.
So I don't know what the rest of the conversation was because that's where I tuned out. Because as soon as he was like, penis recognition software, I was like, well, how would you know how old it is unless you cut it to count the rings and then you needed to carbon date it or something? And I don't know what else he said exactly, but that's where my mind went when this was happening.
That's a pretty good story, I guess.
No, it's not great.
Let's talk about the one where you were playing paintball and you got shot within like 5 seconds. That one's fun.
Oh yeah. Well, I think I guess you'd have to be more specific because it happened a few times.
Did you get? Were you injured at all during this paintball outing?
No, surprisingly. What I had in mind was that, I was going to wear pants and I had my gloves and a long sleeve shirt, even though it was pretty hot out, and I brought an extra.
Hot and stanky.
That's not a smell that I enjoy. Is that broken paintball smell that gets like baked in the sun?
Oh, when you get shot in the grill with a paintball?
Yeah, it's like someone farted glue right into your mouth.
Yeah, you would know that from experience, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean that was basically my art class experience from K to 8. So
you're welcome.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly when I was shot, but I do think about, Poria that you mentioned before. We were on the same team, and it was like a capture the flag thing. So there was.
So you totally lost. Right?
No, we won because we had some crazy dude that just dropped his gun and ran and got the flag. But as soon as the game was over, I shot Poria in the back of the leg from like a good 15 feet away. Nothing crazy, but that's a painful spot, like right behind the knee. So he comes over.
I got shot in almost in the sphincter with the paintball once at point blank range.
That's a tough one.
You want to talk about painful shots?
That's a tough one to deal with.
Yeah.
So he comes over, as soon as it's done, and he's pretty upset, and he just puts the barrel of the gun right against my leg and pops one off, and it hurt, man. I still got the bruise. This is 2 weeks later, and like that. Because what I think it was too? I don't think it broke. I think it bounced off me like a marble.
You're talking about his load?
Yeah. When he...
What exactly hit you in the leg? I'm sorry.
When he unloaded on my leg, it stung a lot more than I thought.
Just high pressure. He, pent up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
A lot of frustration, a lot of...
and you're calling this a paintball?
A lot of angst. Yeah, that's our moniker that we go with, so that way it doesn't sound too revealing.
So I have a funny story.
Yeah, hit us.
So there's a how do you say it? Hibachi place nearby us that we'll go to, and they also do just sushi. So we'll get sushi, and then probably my favorite thing to get is they have vanilla ice cream that's deep fried.
Ooh.
But it's called a snowball.
Oh, fantastic.
So I always feel a little weird ordering it.
Yeah, yep.
Because it's I want a snowball. But it's no, I don't really want a snowball, but I really want a snowball.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, so I don't even know what it is. I know it's deep fried ice cream, yeah. But, sexual innuendo or whatever.
Yep.
Don't know what it is, but I feel like it's not good. I'm just going to go with probably not something I want.
No.
Ice cream, deep fried, totally want that.
Now, alright, so here's the thing. So if you deep fry something, there's obviously the presence of heat. Why even call it a snowball then? Doesn't that kind of...
Well, I don't know if I mentioned this. This was at a restaurant, so I didn't make the menu or the names, so I really don't know why they would call it a snowball.
Yeah. You got to do a little...
Maybe because if you throw it at somebody, it explodes in their face.
Okay. Yeah, no, alright, I got that.
That's just an assumption.
No, I like that. That's a decent answer. I feel like you got to do a little reconnaissance next time. And just, pepper somebody with...
There's pictures of this dude that runs the place, kicking through, bricks and shit, in the lobby. It's I'm not going to ask him a question like that. Nope. No thanks.
All right, yeah, that's fair. And it probably if you asked anybody in the restaurant, it would definitely get back to him, and it would be the same kind of thing like when you talked about in a previous episode about that manager that you had.
Masood.
Yep.
What's up, Masood? How you doing, man?
Yep.
I hope you're doing good. Sorry about that thing with the quitting. Yeah, my bad.
That's sweet.
You deserved it. You were a fucking asshole.
That's always nice when you apologize.
I still love you.
When you apologize and then just, give somebody a profanity-laced,
No offense.
Sentence. Right, no offense, but you're a giant douchebag, and I hope you get hit by a bus.
I heard he did get hit by a bus.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was a bit on the nose for Masood.
He died, so...
Whoa.
I no longer have to look over my shoulder.
Well, that's good. Well, no,
I'm really happy about it. It's like the first time somebody died outside of Bin Laden that I've been happy about.
Not necessarily true. What about his ghost? His spectral being? Do you think that you're
son of a bitch.
You're then immune from being haunted by the ghost of Masood?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So fuck, that's even worse.
So, I don't know if this is necessarily completely relevant, but I was out to lunch with the family the other day, and I saw somebody with one of those tattoos of praying hands,
Yeah, what's the deal with those?
All right. So my thought about it was that either, they're pretty devoutly religious, or they had somebody that passed away that meant a great deal to them, and they're kind of honoring the idea that they've now moved on to heaven. And then I started thinking, well, isn't that kind of like maybe an unfair assumption at some time? Like, what if the person that you're referencing was a real dick, and they're not going to heaven? Like, is there a tattoo equivalent of somebody that's going to hell? Like, would you get like Satan's hooves? Like
fire and brimstone, dog.
Yeah, like is there something else that you would have I mean, is it there you go, yeah, some devil horns tattooed onto the top of your head. Like
probably
is it
like the cover to a Metallica album? I can't think of one offhand, but I'm sure there's one.
I'm thinking about the album, and going back to our extensive semen conversation we've had so far, there's the album Load, where I think what it was semen and blood under a microscope, and that you should look this up at some point, because I believe that's what it was. So yeah, like these praying hands, is it somebody saying like, yeah, they were a good person, now they're in heaven, and I'm kind of giving them that recognition? Or is it where they're like, he wasn't great, I'm praying that he's going upstairs, but I'm not sure.
Well, I guess my question is, what's the deal with the rotisserie beads? What do those mean?
Well, so I think the rotisserie beads, or maybe how the Catholics prefer to name them as the rosary. So when...
Oh, is it rosary?
When the Catholic Church and Boston Market got together and decided that they were going to do like this cross-market promotion, kind of like the same way Chick-fil-A is... I
thought it was Chick-fil-A.
So Boston Market and the Catholic Church decide that they're going to make rotisserie beads, and it's going to... All right, so it's the same way that like you get those little wafers that are the body of Christ.
Yeah, and then you get to drink like a baby bit of wine.
Right.
I went to church enough to get the little baby bit of wine.
Yeah. So you get
that shit's so not worth waiting for.
Right.
Like don't wait, just leave. Like it's not. You get this little tiny wafer cracker thing, and like not even really like a sip of wine. Like probably just go to a bar. It kind
of makes me think of like a really
watch some football, get some wings, order like a pitcher of beer. You're gonna have a much better time.
It kind of reminds me of like a really expensive restaurant where they give you like a really small portion, and you just like, this is not enough for me to survive.
Then they're passing around that damn dish.
Exactly.
And they're like, Time to pony up, sucker.
All right, so what
Like,
you got?
I wasn't expecting this.
What you got to do is you get your baby bit of wine, and then you hop back in line, like kind of like a weird spot, and then you get a little bit more, and you get your Jesus buzz on, you know, and then you're like, all right, I can get down with this sermon. I kind of see what he's coming at, you know, from this perspective. Now that I'm a little fuzzy.
Wait, so you got drunk and you went down on the sermon? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Because that probably, you want to talk about being a bigot. I mean, like, they're saying homosexuality is wrong, but at the same time they're having you blow the father or whatever. Like,
right.
what? Like, wait, beep, back it up. What's going on here?
So I don't know if they've ever come out to say, like, because I mean, not every place says that it's so wrong, but then other times they're like, but it's so right.
It feels good, so, you know, mouth to mouth.
All right, so we were talking rotisserie beads between Boston Market and the Catholic Church. So I think what ended up happening was they took like baby bits of chicken, or no, I'm sorry, it was baby bits of bunny, so that they could kind of tie in Easter to remind people that Jesus died and then came back as a bunny, and then was he in? Was he in?
There's someone out back just cutting up bunnies into little pieces.
Yeah.
That doesn't seem very like Christly or Christ-fitly.
Right.
Little known fact. Bear with me here. This is related.
Oh, awesome! Can't wait.
Smallest country in the world. Do you know what it is? Because I didn't even know this was a country, and I was like, that's got to be a lie. But I Googled it, and it's true.
Is it the Vatican?
Yeah, Vatican City. It's called a city, and yet this bitch is a country?
Yeah.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
That's a good That's a good
Saturday
point.
Night Live? Love you.
I really enjoy that skit when Jason Sudeikis is doing the Running Man over and over again in like the red jumpsuit, which it just cracks me up. He's hilarious.
It's so good because it's like it doesn't make any sense, but he's like so good at dancing. He's got these sick moves.
See,
and he like just wouldn't expect it from a white dude.
This is really nice because now that we specifically mentioned him and it wasn't even planned, I can be like,
Did you say planned?
I can throw it out there and be like, hey, listen, we just wanted to let you know that, we had this show tonight and, we mentioned, a little bit of what you do. So, jump in at about 37 minutes and you could probably stop listening at like 38 minutes. But, if you wanted to share it with your millions of friends and family, go for it. We'd appreciate that, Running Man.
Or don't. I mean, either way, we love you.
Yep.
And
exactly. It's not going to change our affection in any way.
I just think you're like the best outside of House of Cards. I mean, Kevin Spacey, my man. How you doing tonight?
Oh, see,
look at listening.
Look at that. We're just going to throw out well-known celebrity actors, whatever, and then we'll be like, hey, we just wanted to let you know that we happened to find a way to put you into the show, so you should listen to it. And
did you watch Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah.
Since we talked last?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Did you watch Finding Nemo?
No, like I said, I watched something similar.
Oh, right.
Just people getting their eyes scooped out by a sweet little baby turtle.
Oh, yeah, that murderous turtle.
Yeah.
So, did you... All right, I know last
Diesel,
time...
though, that's probably my favorite character that he's played. Outside of Triple X. What's up, Vin?
Oh, boy.
How you doing?
So we talked about...
How's your butt?
We talked about Bob's Burgers. Said you weren't a fan. Did you watch Trailer Park Boys on Netflix?
Yes, actually I did.
What did you think?
Maybe 5 minutes of it.
Really?
And then I got distracted and I was like, oh, there's a fly over there.
Oh, Jesus.
Or something. But I've heard from a reputable source that show is good.
Yeah,
so
it is good.
Against my better judgment of not listening to you.
Yep.
I might give it more of a chance than Bob Burgers.
All right,
or Bob's
okay.
Burgers or whatever that thing was.
It's one of like, all right. So all right. So Trailer Park Boys was recommended to me by my brother-in-law, who has a quirky sense of humor. And
Dan?
Yep, Daniel.
What's up, Dan? How you doing?
Hey, look at that. We can throw it out to him too and be like, hey, you should tell other people that we mentioned you, and you're more popular now than ever. So he mentioned it to me, and my first thought was it was going to kind of be like this Jackass-related like stunt show, and it's not at all.
So what exactly? How would you describe this show? Let's try and keep it brief. Let's say you have 20 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
And go.
All right, good.
Ticking.
So I'll explain the first half of it in the 20 minutes. So it's about a Canadian trailer park, and they have...
Oh, man. Do you remember how Canadian geese used to fly over my house when I lived by the river?
Yeah.
And it would, like, just wake you up every morning?
Yep. Yep.
That was, like, the worst thing. It's like you're just sleeping, and all of a sudden you just get woken up by these stupid, awful geese. Like, what is the purpose of a Canadian goose? Does it do anything besides poop in the river?
No, I don't think so.
Fly around?
Hey, you know what? And I'm thinking you probably know this, but do you know... All right, so the convenience store that we have in New Jersey, and I know other places too, Wawa.
We only have one.
Yeah, exactly. There's just one in the entire state, which is nice because it's exclusive and, you know, they can kind of do whatever they want because there's really no competition. So, Wawa, right? Do you know where the name comes from?
That's a Pennsylvania thing, isn't it?
Do you know where the name comes from?
Wawa. Is it bird related?
Yeah, it comes from the Native American word for goose.
So that's the purpose of the Canadian goose, is that it's just they named a franchise after it?
Yeah, so every time you see a goose, you're like, I kind of want an orange Gatorade right now. I should go get one. And then you happen to go. It's kind of like guerrilla marketing, you know, where they like put people in certain situations and they're like, hey, have you heard about the new Nissan? And you're like, I think I'm going to go buy a Nissan. So the goose flying over the house was kind of...
Got these sweet sunglasses for free. I may as well get the car to match it.
That's true. What the fuck were we talking about?
Do you remember?
Trailer Park Boys.
That's right.
Wow, that took a lot longer than I thought. So, it's a Canadian trailer park, and there are two guys that had been...
They're a bunch of Canucks?
Yep.
What's their favorite hockey team?
I haven't gotten to that. I haven't gotten to that point because I've only watched one full episode, even though
You've only watched one episode?
Even though
You're telling me that this is equated to the Bible again? Oh.
No, I didn't say that.
You gotta stop bringing up the Bible.
I said that about Bob's Burgers. I didn't say that about Trailer Park Boys. So, again, only watched one full episode, really enjoyed it, and I thought that it would be something that you would enjoy too because I know we have a similar sense of humor, and it's kind of quirky and dry, and you know, it's got a little...
Right now that's dry, I'll tell you that.
You know, so you got to cry into it to really get things going.
Can you cry into it?
Yeah, totally. You can cry into your Netflix so that it kind of lubricates it, so it'll find recommendations based on your tier salinity, I think is how it works. It's a nice recognition software. Or you can put your penis into your Xbox or your wife's Xbox, and then it'll give you recommendations too about what you should get.
That sounds like it might be painful.
Oh my god, it's unbelievably painful because I don't know, because I have a PlayStation. I don't know if there's like a disc tray that opens up.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah. So you have to go under.
Like a guillotine.
So you have to go underneath the disc tray, and what happens is it doesn't cut it like when you're checking the rings. When we were talking about the recognition software, it'll go into the Xbox, but then it'll smush your penis into it and kind of like flatten it like under like a microscope slide, and then it'll give you feedback based on your state of penis. So,
like, from that point forward, it'll just be like, every time I pee, it'll just be like a sprinkler?
Yeah, oh my god. Yeah, it's almost like a Looney Tunes kind of thing where your penis was hit by a giant sledgehammer.
like that.
So
That
it's
doesn't sound fun.
so imagine then your penis looks like the head of a hammerhead shark.
So, changing gears, this has nothing to do with hammerhead sharks or penises.
Yep.
Went out to dinner the other night with my beautiful wife.
Okay.
And she ordered something called a crepe.
Fantastic.
Have you ever eaten crepe?
Are you sure you're pronouncing it correctly?
Yeah, it's. I'm pretty sure it's like a plate full of crap.
Okay. Yep. Was it all right? Was it a Chinese food restaurant? Was it a poo-poo platter?
No, I've had a poo-poo platter, and that actually, it's delicious.
Yeah. All right. So a crap. Can you spell this for me? I want to make sure that we're kind of on the same page here.
Well, see, the spelling is a little funny. It's CREPE.
Okay.
It's like crap.
Right.
Or crap.
Right. Yeah. I see you moving your head, but you're still making the same noise.
Crap.
Are you sure it's not crepe? You French.
It looks like it says crap.
You French hating bastard.
I love freedom fries, man.
Oh Jesus.
And God bless America and everyone lost in 9/11. It's just a tragic event. I just couldn't do the podcast without mentioning it. So, anyone listening that lost someone or knows someone that was lost, my heart, and I'm sure my partner Z Diddle's heart, goes out to you guys. So, best wishes.
Considering that we are a day out of it, it is definitely a somber thing. I will say that when I was in school yesterday, after the morning announcements, they did the pledge, and they had a couple of brief statements. Our superintendent came on, and he gave a very moving speech about just how we need to continue to be appreciative of the things we have, and just kind of going off what you said too. I give a lot of credit to the people that stepped up and put their lives on the line and took time away from their families to go out and try to make the world a better place after such a horrendous day. So just a brief pause in our attempts at comedy.
Yeah, our usual bullshit.
Yeah, no, but just to add some genuine substance here. I think for anybody, and not even necessarily, in the United States, like that really hit people hard, and it was. I mean, it obviously changed things, in terms of how we looked at the rest of the world, and I know it was another thing too. I don't want to get, too specific in terms of like who had it worse, but I think things were particularly difficult, in the tri-state area based on how the events unfolded, and I'll always remember that day, and that'll be something that I talk to my kids about and let them know about how the world genuinely changed, and that's probably the same way that the former generation saw Pearl Harbor and other things that happened before that. But
where were you? Do you remember?
Yeah, I do. I remember I was in class at County College of Morris, and it was 9:00 in the morning, and I don't remember if they made an announcement necessarily. I don't know if they had that kind of system, but they said that classes were canceled. It was right after the first plane had hit the tower, and then I remember going out of the room and seeing people just like running in the hallway and like frantically calling people on their phones and trying to figure out where parents and siblings were, and I do, just to add a bit of lightness to this, I remember somebody passing me. I won't give their name because it was actually somebody that I knew. She said, "Towel heads just flew a plane into the Twin Towers," and I was like, "Okay, that's. I guess you're upset, and I understand your frustration. And all right, so we're going racist immediately. Okay, that's where this is headed."
So, I guess my next question would be: did you stay at school or did you leave? Because when I first heard about it, so I woke up late. My alarm clock, it went off, but it was just static.
Yeah.
So I went downstairs, and my grandmother was like, because I lived with my grandmother and my father at that time, and she's like, I don't know what's going on. Well, none of the channels are working on the TV. So I was like, okay, I don't know. So I just went to CCM, County College of Morris.
Yeah.
And I just went in, and the only thing I can remember is just being there. I don't remember what happened that day or anything else. I just remember going to school and just being with my peers, because that was like, as much as I always hated school, I really just loved being with my friends and my peers. And when you're in college, it's not everybody's your friend, and you don't know half the people, but there's a kinship there, and it's just kind of like a safe place. And I felt safe, even though the world was in, or at least America was just in total turmoil and chaos at that time, and we probably didn't even really realize the scope of it at that point. Because we were just probably 20 years old or so, probably.
Yeah. I can remember just feeling like, what's next? Like, is this over? Is this the only thing that we're going to see today, the next week? How does this play out? And I remember from what you said, I left, and I left school and I went home, and I was living with my parents at the time, and one of my sister's friends was there, and he and I talked about trying to go into the city to go and help. And I remember we got in the car, and I think we made it as far as, like, where'd we go? It might have been Jersey City. And, like, right before you get to the bridge to go over, like, on, I think it's Route 1 and 9, like, everything was just barricaded. And, they were just turning people away because they just didn't know what was going on. So it was probably better that we weren't able to go in there. I think in youthful exuberance, we wanted to do something, helpful, but I don't know if we had really thought it out too, especially like you were saying, like we didn't know what was next, who knew what was after that.
Yeah, it was just it was a really scary time, and like in retrospect anyway, at the time I didn't realize what was going on. I just thought, one plane crashes into a building, and it's just a tragedy.
Yeah.
And then the second one does, and you're like, okay, something is definitely going on, but you don't really know what it is, because at that time, all the information you were getting was sporadic, and it wasn't, there was nothing to verify it.
Yeah.
So I can totally see your side, where people are suffering, let me see what I can do to help them, and that's something that I totally appreciate.
Right.
For as much stupid stuff we say and things like that about not caring about religion and things like that, like when it comes down to it, I know myself and Zach, we're both there for anybody that needs help.
Yeah.
And we do whatever we can. So if you want to judge us for our views, have at it. Be my fucking guest. But I'm here to help people, and I'm sure Zach feels the same way. And that's just how it is.
Yeah. So
if you don't like it, eat a dick.
So I feel like that brings a really nice segue about wanting to help people. So I was thinking about a friend of ours who, him and his wife, they kind of do like this blog about traveling and hiking and all this stuff, and they said that they just got hooked up with this hammock company, and they were showing us, pictures of places they had gone, and it's kind of similar to the hammock that you have when you guys go camping.
Have you slept in like a legit camping hammock?
No, but I'm super excited about it, and I want to hear more about it because I'm sure it's like an earth-shattering experience. But we were talking about how so this guy had sent them, hammocks that he custom makes, and he wanted some feedback on it. And the first thing that I thought about is, getting in and out of a hammock is sometimes a difficult endeavor, and I always picture like that comic way of like the hammock like spinning around and you're trapped inside of it like a human burrito, because probably for the most part either you're getting another beer or you have to go to the bathroom. So I was thinking that what if in a hammock you could have like a flap, like a onesie, where you could just like pop it open and then just poop out of. So that's my way of saying I'd like to help people. So if they have a hammock-related bathroom incident, they can just be like, nope, I'm not getting up. I can just open my hammock flap and poop on the ground.
That's probably the worst segue we've had.
Oh my God, no. Well, yeah, so far it won't be the worst, but as of right now, yes, it is by far the worst.
So
it was a real stretch.
That actually exists.
No,
There's
it doesn't.
There's a company called Hennessy Hammock.
Yeah.
And they make a hammock that has a Velcro entry-exit point through the bottom of it, which is really just a glorified pooper hole.
I keep... All right. So when I have these ideas, usually they happen like late at night if I, get up to change our baby's diaper, and immediately I'm like, gotta call Shark Tank. Gotta let them know.
When did we have a baby? How long have you been hiding this from me?
Oops. Surprise. So I have these ideas, and immediately I'm like, gotta call Shark Tank. I gotta get Mark Cuban on the phone and let him know that these hammock needs poo flaps. And
why are you gonna call some guy in Cuba? I don't get that.
Well, the U.S. and Cuba has, open, visitation stuff now. God,
what is this, I can't think of or something?
I can't think of words.
Okay?
No, I guess this beer is getting to me now. I should probably get in for another one soon. No, but I have these ideas, and I think they're something good, and I want to call investors and get them on the phone, and then it's kind of, I don't know, it hurts a little bit when I find out that somebody else beat me to it. So I really thought the hammock poo flap was going to work out.
Yeah, I don't think they market it as a poop flap. So maybe if you wanted to start some kind of marketing scheme for that, you could probably corner that market, but that technology does exist already. So it would probably be pretty easy to put it into place.
Could I call it the shit sleeper?
Or the shit sling.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Yeah,
because when you're hammocking, you're slinging.
Do you think that the shit sling might give people the wrong impression that you have like a
monkey syndrome where you're just slinging shit at people?
Yeah, or you have like a slingshot and you have to fill it with feces.
That sounds fun.
It sounds amazing. Don't get me wrong.
It probably smells really bad, but you just hit somebody with that shit sling.
Oh.
Oh yeah, it's worth the smell.
Oh, it's got to be incredible.
Oh yeah.
So
because you just ruined their day, probably their year. Really. Yeah. I mean.
So I guess that was one of my things.
You don't come back from getting hit with a shit sling.
No. That's going to ruin your month easily. You're not. You might as well just write off March from then on, even if it's the first day. Because, what's the point?
Wait. So we're doing this in late February?
No, just hypothetically speaking. I feel like...
Oh, because it's your birth month. Okay, yeah, your birth month. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Zach's birthday.
Hey, St. Patty's Day. Get excited.
Hello.
We'll do a nice St. Patrick's Day episode next year, and I'll just be completely annihilated.
So what's going to be different?
Not much, except the fact that I'll be 34 now, and then not whatever. So my segue before was difficult to work with.
I really want a new segue. The new segues look so sweet.
Do they?
Yeah, have you not seen it yet?
No, I'm not up to date on Segway going.
This dude at work.
I should be because they're
riding
cool.
One around in the shop.
Oh yeah.
Changing people's oil, putting different tires on their cars, riding around on his new school Segway, and it's could I be more envious of anyone in the world? No, it's this guy.
That's pretty
Riding
awesome.
around on his Segway.
So, does he work there, or does he just roll in and was like, "Yo, I'm going to work on cars"?
He's just a dude that's like, I'm on a Segway. I'm going to help you guys out to just show you how awesome these things are.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Guy.
What would you do if you were...
Everything.
All right. Not what would you do for a Klondike bar, or not what would you do for a Segway. What if you were driving anywhere and you saw...
What am I driving?
You're in your car, or your sweet, sweet Land Cruiser. What if you're driving in your excellent burnt orange Land Cruiser? Bernie. And you saw, like...
Bernie's, what's up? Love that movie.
What's a group of Segway riders called? Is it a gaggle? Is it a murder? What's their name?
Yeah, I'd probably go with a gaggle.
Okay, so a gaggle of Segway riders. What if you saw like...
start wearing like leather chaps.
Yeah, exactly. With a poo flap.
Well, they would be assless.
Right. Yeah, there you go.
So there's no need for a flap, really. I mean, if you wanted to have really fancy ones, you could build it like a flap.
There you go. All right, so
probably assless.
So you see this gaggle of Segway riders. Let's say there's like at least 15 of them, right? Minimum. What runs through your head when you see this?
Just the worst imaginable things you can think of.
Like, do you want to be a part of them? Are you fearful of your...
I want to be inside of them.
Each one?
Yeah, like just legit running a train.
Okay.
These guys, like, whoop whoop.
You know, I wonder if... Like, I think I would probably... I mean, for the most part, you know, outside of...
What would you do to a gaggle of Segway riders?
Well, I'm thinking that...
You could probably mock them.
Yeah, but I'd be afraid that they would gang up on me and slowly bump into me at 6 to 7 miles an hour or however fast.
So either you're the conductor or someone else is. So
yeah, that's fair.
I know where I stand in this equation.
All right, I
think I know where you stand, and you're probably the caboose.
Yeah, I feel like
caboose.
I don't know if I'd be standing. I think I'd probably be kneeling because like. It just gets me so excited thinking about so many Segways together in one place that, yeah, it would get weird real fast.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. All right, so is there anything pressing that you want to cover that you had on your mind this week or anything you wanted to bring up specifically?
Well... I do have one question.
Sure.
Maybe you can help me out with it.
Okay.
So, somebody was talking about sphincter surfing.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is that? And I Googled it, but it just came up with a bunch of pictures of, like, people's assholes.
Okay.
And, like, yeah, I know what a sphincter is. Got it. But I don't understand the surfing part of it. Like... How does that work? Do you know?
Is it like a butthole surfer kind of thing? Like a reference to them?
I don't know. And I don't know what like outside of the band, the Butthole Surfers, right? That was a band?
Right.
Yeah. I don't know, but maybe you do.
Now, okay, so we could go about this in a pretty easy way and just say that it's a pretty... straightforward reference to butt play, but let's go the different route. Let's try to make this a little more entertaining. Whoa, there's somebody else there. Oh
yeah,
I see a person.
Yep, we got an invader.
Did somebody bust in your window? Did it happen?
Yeah, it happened.
Oh, fantastic!
Shit's all over.
So, well, that goes along with sphincter surfing too. I have the idea that you go surfing like you would in the ocean,
right?
And the only difference is that the nose of the surfboard has to be like 6 inches deep in your sphincter, So that way you're riding on it like, all right, you know those like old timey ships where they had like a mermaid carved into the front of it?
Oh yeah, like San Diego.
Sure.
An
That's
old, old
like
ship.
that's like you on the front of the surfboard, just like impaled rectally riding this wave. So that's what I think of in sphincter surfing.
It doesn't sound like fun.
Oh God, no! It's horrendous. It almost reminds me of, some kind of torture. But I think for some people, it probably gets to the point where that's the only way that they can climax because of whatever weird stuff they've been into previously. That
that guy that suffocated himself. Who is that actor? He was like
David
hanging himself.
Yeah, David Carradine.
Yeah, and he's like trying to beat off before he dies, and he lost that race.
Yeah, good old. You can usually go wrong with erotic asphyxiation.
Asphyxiation, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a fun word.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's great to put a belt around your neck and try to masturbate before you pass out and die.
Yeah. Probably not going to try that one.
No. I think I'm going to skip that. That's definitely not on my bucket list.
Yeah, I need more of a safety net, I think. That's like a little...
That's probably on my bucket list. It's not happening.
Yeah. That's like you have a day to live. What are you going to do? Yeah. Asphyxiation. Okay.
Yeah. That's probably at least 12 or 15 down the line before I get to it, so...
I would probably just put on one of those squirrel suit things. And just make sure that that's crotchless.
Okay, I like that.
And jump off a cliff.
So your squirrel nuts are out for everybody to see.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. So what's your take on sphincter surfing?
Yeah, see, I really didn't know. I mean, I was thinking maybe it's like you got like somebody's butthole and you have like a tech deck.
Oh, I like
Instead
this.
of a tech deck, it's like a surfboard deck.
Okay, yeah.
And you're just like going around their butthole on this little like fingerboard. And sometimes your fingers slip in.
Okay. No, I think I like that even better. And that's kind of where I was hoping you were going with this. So, all right, so you got this little tech deck inspired surfboard. So are you using someone's butt cheeks as the wave, like in this scenario?
No, not their butt cheeks. No.
No, because I'm thinking that
it's deeper than that.
we're getting very philosophical, and I feel like deeper is right on the nose or right on the brown nose here. All right, so nothing to do with the butt cheeks. You're just going. You're going straight. In. You're going straight for the cavern.
Oh yeah.
Wonderful. So, I think I'm down with your idea. I'm not saying that I'm in for any kind of like R&D stuff right now to see how this is going to work and what kind of section of the public is going to get behind it. But I think
you said you were down for whatever.
No, I am. I don't know how much time I can devote to this, and I feel like this is a pretty big undertaking, and I feel like you need to have a decent sample size of people that can give proper feedback about this. It's like when they do like political polls, and they're like 47% of the country backs Bernie Sanders, and you're like, well, they only talked to like 40 people, so that doesn't really count. So I feel like you'd at least
one person, and you're probably going to be my guinea pig.
Right.
I retract that statement. You're going to be my guinea pig.
Right. And the guinea pig is probably going to live inside my butthole for an extended period of time. But I think...
while your butthole's being tech deck surfed.
Right. But I feel like this is the kind of thing where you need a decent sample size of like at
What's
least...
up, tech deck? How you doing?
At least... Yeah, that's going to be a good one. I can't wait for them to give us their money for backing it and comparing their boards to living inside people's anuses. I feel like you'd at least need like a
tested,
kid tested, mother approved. You'd need like at least 1,000 people. Like that's a decent sample size to really get an idea of how this is going to work.
I think one is like a pretty good starting point. And then you can kind of build on that.
Absolutely, but I feel...
It's like the number of people that listen to our podcast. Like, you start with 1, and then maybe one day you get to 1,000. But for now, probably going to sphincter surf your sphincter.
Hey,
and when I say probably, I mean definitely.
Well, yeah. So, all right. So I think for right now, what we need to do is develop a decent game plan about how we're going to go about polling the public about their sphincter surfing recommendations, likes, dislikes. And I think for right now, we should end the episode so that way we can figure out, maybe sleep on it, and figure out exactly how we're going to go about doing this.
Wait, what are we sleeping on? A surfboard?
Oh, yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, it's the same way that, like, for anything else, like, you got to test your own product, you know?
Right,
so,
yeah, absolutely.
So when I wake up in the middle of the night and my wife turns over...
like 6 inches into your butt?
Yeah. When my wife turns over and goes, why is there a 9-foot surfboard and 6 inch of it is is surfboard deep in your asshole?
And you, at that point, say...
I'll just roll over and go,
unintelligible noises.
Unintelligible noises. And then she'll roll over and go, I can't deal with this right now. I just can't. I'm sure. And she'll probably say, I'm sure this is podcast related. I'm concerned for your well-being if this is what's going to result from you and Will getting together to talk about stuff.
Yeah, it's probably better that we're, like 60 or 70 miles away from each other.
Yep, totally.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, brother. Let's call it right now. So, everybody out there, thanks for listening. Tattooed Bananas, episode 3. Like we mentioned before, Instagram, Twitter, email is inkbananas@gmail.com. We'll continue to work on the website, the YouTube channel as well, Tattooed Bananas. We'll hopefully get some different content up there aside from the episodes, and we'll get together. I know there was a brief talk about some Taco Bell related field trips to...
There's going to be a review of a Taco Bell breakfast.
Big fan.
In the near future, so stay tuned to that.
What I'm really excited about real quick is that I feel like that could turn into
diarrhea really quick.
Oh my god, yeah. No, that's a given. I mean, I would think that as soon as we order, you shit your pants. But I was thinking it could turn into like a man versus food kind of thing. Did you ever watch that show?
Did I ever watch that show?
Yeah.
I lived for that show.
Fantastic.
I can't believe it got canceled or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy was kind of douchey. But,
well, yeah.
I still love you, Adam. You're the man.
Yep.
How you doing, bud?
Continue the shout-outs. Keep them coming. So, I feel like it could turn into the kind of thing where...
Looks like my buddy Zach. What's up?
We eat one thing off the Taco Bell breakfast menu, and then we're like, well, I think we need to try 9 more things. And then before we know it, we're like in the booth with the Taco Bell meat sweats, just praying for death.
Does Taco Bell have a mascot?
I don't think so.
Oh, no, they do. The little dog.
Oh, yeah, the Yo Quiero Taco Bell.
He's probably dead by now, though.
Yeah, it was better than their Run for the Border campaign. But
oh, well, yeah, the Run for the Border wasn't that good. But did you hear the thing about them honoring the last living dog, rescue dog from 9/11?
No.
Yeah, my wife was telling me about it. They had like a whole ceremony for it.
That's really cool.
Last living dog, rescue dog. Yeah, isn't it?
I like that.
So,
so now I feel...
All our listeners with 4 legs out there, we love you, all right? Or at least I do, so don't listen to my partner.
Fuck's sake. So I feel a little bad for...
He doesn't like fur babies. He's just not a fan.
So I feel a little bit bad about ripping on Taco Bell, but they do have a breakfast menu, so I feel like they can't say too much. So, all right. So I'm calling it now. I'm out of beer. I need to go get a new one. So, again, thanks for listening. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back soon.
Love all y'all.
Probably in a week time. So, everybody enjoy your evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
Don't listen to episodes 1 and 2. Episode 30 is where it's at. What's up?
All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.